Yo salí de mi país, México, el año pasado.
I left my country, Mexico, on June 16, 2008, to escape the attacks on journalists that the Mexican government was orchestrating through the Mexican army. In the last few months, the army has seriously harmed our community, especially the journalists among us. We've been forced to censure ourselves and our work, and finally to seek the protection of other countries, such as the United States, in my case, to ensure my safety and my right to life, not just mine, but also that of my 15-year-old son, Oscar Emilio. Our request for political asylum is now being considered by an immigration judge in El Paso, Texas. We are confident that this process will be successful because we have presented the immigration judge with all of the evidence necessary to support a request for political asylum. In this case, the work was done by a Mexican national who's a correspondent for the daily Noroeste in the small town of Ascension in Chihuahua. We trust that the U.S. authorities will help us. We have confidence in the democracy of the United States, and especially in the new provisions and new immigration policy being implemented by Barack Obama, the United States President. We are confident we know that the United States believes in freedom and that it offers guarantees securing the right to be informed and free speech. I believe this will be essential in order to obtain permission to remain here definitively. At the same time, if political and social conditions improve in Mexico, we will go back to our beloved country. Reporters Without Borders assistance, in this case, through the U.S. Representative Lucy Morion, has made a major, vital difference. This organization acted like a guardian angel, saving lives. I, for one, am very grateful to you. I am very moved to be able to tell you this. And I sincerely want to say how much I hope to have an opportunity to play a part in Reporters Without Borders' work. And to help other journalists around the globe whose lives they can save so that they can secure their freedom and keep on playing their role as information professionals. When I entered the United States, I really hoped that authorities would grant such an urgent request for humanitarian aid, which did not happen. I finally ended up in a detention camp that I had to endure for 7 months because my only choice was to be in prison or to go back and face the Mexican state. By returning to Mexico with them, I would have run the risk of losing my life immediately, and worse still, leaving my son without help. It was very hard to stay 7 months in this prison, to witness annoying practices on the part of the immigration services and the contract guards of a security firm working with this El Paso detention camp, and especially to see, in addition to my own hardships, those experienced by some 100 people, including some Americans and other illegal immigrants who had been separated from their families. It is extremely sad to realize that your children are on this side of the border and that they will have to return to Mexico to face a totally different demographic reality from the lifestyle on the U.S. side. That was really catastrophic. It's something that one does not forget and that should serve us to give meaning to our lives. What I meant to say is that if you truly feel that your life is in danger, You can ask for help from and count on Reporters Without Borders and PMEX, Periodistas Mexicanos en el Exilio, Mexican Journalists in Exile, which has a representative in El Paso, Texas, lawyer Carlos Spector. We are really well aware that corruption in Mexico exists in the highest ranks of government, even at the level of the President of the Republic, who is backed by the Mexican army. And the Army's only code of conduct is brutality. I believe that the lives of all journalists are more important than having to endure and tolerate the abusive acts of the Mexican state. They need to turn to Reporters Without Borders and, if necessary, to PMEX for legal counsel and to support when having to face 7 months of detention like I had to do. If I had not fled Mexico, I would probably be among the statistics of homicides, disappearances, or false imprisonments for which the Mexican state is responsible. My plans for the future? To obtain permission, based on all the evidence submitted to the immigration judge, to establish my legal and definitive place of residence here, and to get my work back on track, the profession I love, journalism. Where? Wherever I will be allowed to do my job with zeal and devotion.